While driving home in her car from the comedy club, Persephone decided on a quick stop through Taco Bell. And since she didn't want to go straight home just then, she decided to make a little swoop to Palmer Park to eat and think a little. She parked in a semi secluded part of the park. Palmer Park in 1991 was still a fairly maintained small park that separated Highland Park from Northwest Detroit. The blocks of homes in the Sherwood Forest District, the Livernois, the Avenue of Fashion were the dividing line from the ritzy district a few blocks from the park. Palmer Park was well patrolled by the police and had yet to attract the criminal element that was prevalent at some of the other larger parks. Even though it was a dark night, Persephone could still see through her windshield and noticed the way the light from the street lamps that lined the footpath along the pond made the still water look like patent leather. Persephone was listening to Mojo, the mysterious DJ guru, on the Detroit radio waves. He was playing an old Donny Hathaway tune, Giving Up, and it almost made Persephone want to shout. It dawned on her for maybe the 100th time since she had left the club just 45 minutes before that she'd done it. She had already gobbled down the 5 tacos and 2 burrito supremes she had picked up from the drive-thru at Taco Bell. She was slowly finishing her large Diet Coke when she remembered the joint she had stashed in her glove compartment a few days before. She got it out quickly and held it up to the dim light coming from outside, using just the fingertips of her right hand. She just couldn't bring herself to fire it up. She knew if she did that it would bring back too many memories of all the times she and Jasmine had come to this same park and smoked a couple of doobies. Doobie was their nickname for a marijuana joint. The two also had developed a code whenever they wanted to smoke and didn't want anyone else to know that's what they wanted to do. One of them would just say, "One never knows," and the other one would say, "Do one," as in, do you want to do one? That had come about when the two had caught the road tour production of Ain't Misbehavin' down at the Masonic Temple in Detroit. One of the songs in the play was about smoking weed. Persephone and Jasmine were seated in their chairs, hunching each other and trying to stifle giggles when they realized what the lyrics were about. The performer kept asking the question, "One never knows, do one." After her divorce, Jasmine didn't show much interest in serious dating. Although many men tried, instead Persephone was her escort to movies. Jasmine wanted to see or plays Jasmine had read about in the paper, or whatever Jasmine felt like doing. Persephone had been all for it because she loved to go out with Jasmine and watch everybody look and sometimes stare at her beautiful baby sister. Persephone put the joint back in the glove compartment for another time. She started up the car, put it in reverse, and backed the car slowly out of her parking space. Even though it was dark out, she didn't cut on her headlights until she approached the exit onto the street, a little Palmer Park courtesy for the occupants of the cars with the steamy windows. She drove home quickly on the not too busy streets of a Monday night in Detroit. Swooping the car expertly into the driveway of her home, she flicked the remote for the garage door opener that was mounted under her dashboard, along with the kill switch for the car. She parked the car next to her father's new 91 Mercedes-Benz, the one he had purchased against her mother's wishes just a week before. She gathered up all her Taco Bell trash, got her purse and keys, locked up the garage, and went inside the house. It was habit for her to deactivate and reactivate the house alarm. Whenever she entered the house or exited the house, she'd punch in the 5 digits. But she would have to concentrate in order to tell someone what order she punched them in. The green lights, the green digits on the microwave clock read 11:35. Mom and Dad had worked the day shift for over 20 years at Chrysler, and they were always in bed by 9 p.m. on work days, which were Monday through Friday, and often Saturdays as well as most holidays. Over the years, Persephone had learned how to be extra quiet when she had to be. Tonight is no exception, she thought. She managed to place her trash in the kitchen garbage and absently slurped up the last corner of her Diet Coke. The slurping noise seemed to echo in the kitchen. That was when the kitchen light flicked on and Persephone knew she must have made too much noise. Uh-huh, I knew it. Your big fat ass sneaking food again. Your ass steady getting bigger and bigger. I don't know how in the hell you expect to do anything with your life, and all you want to do is lay up here, eat, sleep, and get high. Persephone knew as her mother walked closer to her that her mother was trying to get a whiff of Persephone to see if her nose could detect marijuana smoke. Jasmine and Persephone had often commented on the fact that the airport could use their mother at security checkpoints instead of dogs to tell who was smoking what. And what's that you wearing under that hot-ass leather coat? Her mother demanded. Persephone hurried past her, secured in the fact that she wasn't high this time and that she wasn't in the mood for her mom's lip. Nothing was going to mess up this evening for her. Good night, Mom, she said as she flicked the light switch at the bottom of the stairs and walked up. She would normally hang her coat up in the downstairs closet, but this time she knew to avoid conflict, just keep the coat on. Makes no damn sense, her mother protested to her. Persephone heard her mother let out a large fart. Then she returned to her bed for rest. She probably woke Dad up in the process, Persephone thought. Then she'd have to explain to him tomorrow where she had been at 11:30 on a Monday night. True, Persephone did not have to pay rent, but once in the sanctuary of her bedroom, Persephone peeked at her answering machine to see if the red light was blinking with a message. It glowed red, no blinking, no messages. Persephone took off her coat and changed out of her clothes. Nothing to herself the disadvantages of wearing silk clothing, like the blouse she had chosen tonight. When she had her dress rehearsal in front of the mirror, she hadn't put her coat on over the outfit, thinking it wasn't important. Always the details. Persephone admonished herself. Everyone knew you couldn't iron a silk garment on a high setting. You would wind up destroying it as soon as the iron touched the fabric. But Persephone didn't know what was on her mind when she decided to wear silk under a leather coat. Had she expected not to sweat? The entire top had been plastered to her body. She thought she must have looked like a storefront preacher trying to deliver a sermon on the hottest day in July. She had perspired so profusely. She relaxed herself with a quick shower and a good lotion rub down, and she stepped out and toweled off. Each time she thought of her comedic debut, she felt the remnants of the adrenaline that had stampeded through her veins earlier. But now it was an uncontrollable little tingle, and every now and then Persephone allowed herself to grin.